This week, Toys Wonderland has been taken down. What happened to them? Let's talk about it on the Collecting News. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Collecting News, the show where we bring you the latest and greatest from the world of collecting. With me, as always, breaking the latest stuff down is my hetero life mate, my man, Seth. What is going on, man?
What's going on, everybody? I am super excited to dive into today's topic.
Yes, we got something
Super
interesting to
excited.
talk about today. Normally, we have, the news about what's coming out and all the different pre-orders and stuff like that. And that's what we normally would do for you guys. And for the past, several weeks, we've been bringing this show to you live, which I want to apologize right now that we aren't live today. Seth is actually going to be going to check out the Snake Eyes movie today, right?
Yeah. Yep. So our good buddy Ralph with No More Mutants has invited us to go check out the premiere of Snake Eyes. Unfortunately, it is a trek for George to get down to Miami. So I will be heading down there tonight. So if you guys are watching this at some point, be sure to just keep an eye on my Instagram, because I'm sure I'll go live at some point with Ralph, and we'll have a little chit chat, and we'll do some Snake Eyes shenanigans.
Awesome, man. I can't wait to see that. So if you hear the thunderstorms and the lightning and the rain going on out there, that's because the world is sad. It's a sad day today.
The God of Thunder,
Yes.
is outside your house. Oh!
Last night, we got news that Toys Wonderland website has been taken down. There's a whole article that I'll read for you guys here just a little bit to tell you guys what that is, what was entailed in that. But yes, the site has been taken down. So if you guys aren't familiar with Toys Wonderland, that's a website where you can go buy collectibles, and it's a Hong Kong-based store. It's more like a comic book store or like another collectible retailer, not an actual distributor. And for many of us, it's been a good source for us to get Hot Toys, early releases in the past, but especially with the whole issues with shipping lately, Toys Wonderland and a few others have been viable sources for us to be able to get our collectibles in a more timely fashion. When you say that,
the Hong Kong resellers have been a great help to us collectors that are impatient, don't feel like waiting. Obviously because of COVID and all the shipping delays and everything like that. Going to Hong Kong has been a good source of getting these Hot Toys and statues and other collectibles that they sell in a more timely fashion, which has been great. I personally have gone out of my way and purchased a few things from overseas because I got tired of waiting. I mean, we all know the story behind the Endgame Captain America. I was waiting almost 2 yees for that.
Right? Yeah, long time.
So I decided to finally take it upon myself, dive into the international purchasing, and got stuff from a couple of different retailers and different sources, and I got it here within a timely fashion.
Right.
So I also have stuff on pre-order with Toys Wonderland because to get a lot of these third-party aftermarket 6-scale figures, a lot of companies in the U.S. don't offer them. So I go overseas to get them. So I have quite a few aftermarket 6-scale figures on order with them. So
right.
I'm interested to see where this goes and how the shutdown will actually affect that. Will that affect our sale? The purchases?
We'll talk. Well, they do go into that in this letter right here. And why don't we just go ahead and share the letter that happened? So we'll start off with that, and then we can get into more of a conversation about what's going on with it. Let me go ahead and share the screen right here. Share, so you guys can read it with us. All right. So it says, "Dear collectors, we are posting today with some sad news. Our official website, www.toywonderland.com, has been temporarily closed down on account of the actions of a USA-based collectible company." That's a big one. Yeah. Further information is written below, but rest assured, all accounts, orders, reward points, and personal information will not leave our servers and are safe as always. Your orders will be sent punctually, even as the website is restored. We, a small Hong Kong-based team specializing in reselling products worldwide, legally under the first sale doctrine. Likewise, the USA-based company has the right to distribute the USA as a sole distributor. To the USA as a sole distributor. However, Toys Wonderland also has the right to sell internationally as well under the free market supported by the right of first sale doctrine. While the USA-based company is unable to provide a shipping service globally, we proudly offer this through our store. The USA-based company has one of the biggest sites that sell high-end collectibles. However, their act seems like they are the only seller in the market, owing to the fact that they claim they completely have and own the copyright of those high-end collectibles. It is undoubtedly an alert to all Hong Kong-based teams like us who are now also being attacked in the same fashion. Your favorite Hong Kong resellers are threatened constantly when we have every right to provide the reselling service we do. Man, it's thundering out here.
Wow, that is brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty bad over here.
But it's cool though because it's adding for the dramatic effect.
Yeah, right. we pride ourselves on we pride ourselves on our customer service, fast shipping of collectibles. Thus, we hope to gain all your understanding and support that we are taking steps properly to rebuild our site. Please read carefully and study the principle of right of first sale doctrine to learn more about how we resell the items we purchase from the open market to American and international collectors completely legally. We will endeavor to make our website available in up to 3 to 5 business days. Rest assured, we have not lost any account details or order information. Your privacy means the most to us, and we ensure all your information is handled in the most secure way possible. Every detail is backed up, irrespective of the website platform. There are no worries at all. Your orders will all be safe and shipped even when we rebuild our site. Stay tuned for updates, and as always, keep collecting. So that was the letter that Seth got. Now, just to let you guys know, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is that I have orders through Toys Wonderland as well, and I didn't receive a message like that. I didn't get the email, so either I'm not that important, or it just didn't get out to everybody. So I figured us bringing this up right now is a good way for you guys to be aware of what's going on at the moment. So some things to bring up there. First of all, they mentioned something called the free sale doctrine. Okay, so. I'm sorry, the first sale doctrine. The first sale doctrine, as applied to copyright, allows the purchaser to sell or give away a particular lawfully made copy of the copyrighted work without permission once it has been obtained. What that means basically is that if you buy something, any of us buy something, we have the right to resell that item, give it away, destroy it, sell it for less, whatever it is that we want to do with it. Whatever we want to do with it, we have the right to be able to sell that. That's what that means. Okay. Now, the distribution license, which is what the other company has, is kind of like a first sale doctrine, but it has a little bit more given to them. They have the ability to not only distribute for that, but they also have the ability to make and create items for whatever the license is, and then distribute that as well. So that's the added thing that they have. Now, that's very different. Okay, Toys Wonderland is not acting in that fashion.
Well, they're not a distributor. Yeah,
they're not a distributor. They're a store. Toys Wonderland has made it very clear that they purchase items from stores, from Hong Kong-based stores, or directly from the Hot Toy store, probably, if whatever the item is, and then they resell the item similarly to like as if Seth and I were to take and buy, sell our collectibles.
From Tate, whether we buy stuff like from Tate's or Bits and Buttons or any of the places that we go to,
and resell it at that point. That's what Toys Wonderland is doing. They've been attacked at this point, and their website has been taken down, and that's been taken down in a way of a copyright claim, kind of like what happens to us with YouTube.
Yeah, when we get when we have like a copyright strike against us, whether we have like someone's music in there or a clip that's extended from like a movie or something that we use, we get hit with that stuff if we don't if we use it. Now this is interesting though, because it's like, why would a US based reseller or distributor or seller, whoever the company is, why would they be meddling in affairs in Hong Kong?
Well, they feel threatened by the sale. So so prior to 2020, prior to the whole pandemic and the issues that have been plaguing companies with shipping, Toys Wonderland existed, but it wasn't exactly something that USA sellers. It wasn't a viable solution for USA sellers, I would say, or a smart solution, right? This is a company that's based out of Hong Kong. It's good for people who are in China. It's good for people who are in the UK. It's because the shipping rates from buying over, from the United States is bad. Just like
they're high. Yeah, the shipping rates are higher. Yeah,
similar to like what we have to deal with when we buy something from overseas, right? So then the pandemic hits, and now we're in this shipping crisis where everything seems to just be taking forever to show up here on our side. So now you have a solution, for us that we're willing to pay a little bit more if it means getting our items on a timely fashion. You have the ability to buy now from these companies, and then they get here sometimes a whole year before the item releases to us through our distributors, whether that be Sideshow or Big Bad Toy Store or whoever, right? So more people are buying from them, I think, is what's happening, and then because of that, these companies are feeling it.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, eventually, at some point, the whatever pandemic this is, it's gonna end, and things eventually will get back, and things will eventually get back to normal. But rather than showing patience, people want to, it's business. I get it. It's competitive. Toys Wonderland right now is getting all the business because they can get stuff out, whereas your Sideshows and your other places aren't, because they're not getting the products distributed again in a timely fashion to the USA. So companies are going to be threatened by that, and of course there's proper business practices, and then there's the bullshit business practices like getting a company's website shut down.
This is to me very petty.
Yeah, it is. It's super petty. It's super petty, and whoever the US based company is. We all know. I mean, come on. I mean, in reality, we know who it is. We're not going to say it just for the sake of saying it.
Well, I mean, they're we don't. Okay, they're saying a U.S. This one thing about this letter that I didn't like. Okay, so I was like, I commend them for bringing this stuff out, is because at one point, at a level, I think it's good. It's a good thing that people know the cattiness that goes behind in this collectible industry, right? The stuff that happens behind the scenes that I've been privy to ever since that I started this channel, it's insane. This stuff that happens.
It is. It's crazy.
So I see this and I'm like, this is just one more thing that doesn't really surprise me, especially if it is the company that they're insinuating it is.
Yeah.
There's really only one large USA based distributor, and it's yeah. It's not. It doesn't surprise me in the least. If it ends up being.
Say it. Say it.
Well, no. It's like I'm not saying that they did this. I'm not saying that was the case. But really, your only large USA based distributor in the United States is Sideshow. That's the only one that they can possibly be insinuating about. Could be whoever, but that's what I'm being implied anyway when I read this letter. And anybody that I've showed this letter to. That's the first one that goes to their mind. That's the first
name that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, so it's pretty sad that you're supposed to be making collectibles for us and making things good, but your name is synonymous with this kind of stuff. Yeah. So
I mean, it's petty. It is petty nonsense. Listen, the world is big enough for everybody to coexist. If you're that worried about your business, then you need to figure shit out and make it better.
Yeah,
you need to find a way. Taking down your competition in a bullshit way of doing that is stupid. I mean, and you know what? It makes people like me and George, OG Geek, all the collectors, everybody that buys from all these places, it makes you rethink. Do we really want to support a company that does stuff like this?
Yeah, I feel like, and I've been on that tip for a long time now. That I'm more about supporting the small businesses
Yeah.
and your local businesses and that kind of stuff than I am for supporting these large companies. And I don't care that I don't get invited to events and get given free stuff, so much as I feel that there's some moral code that I feel like that people should adhere to.
And by the
Especially after.
but listen, you're saying it in a nice way, but I'll come out and say it because that's who I am. We don't kiss ass.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is that I feel like especially coming out of a situation like, and we're not even completely out of it, but
Yeah.
the situation that happened in 2020, many people were, loss of lives and families torn apart, that kind of thing. That you should be kinder to your fellow person, and even if you're talking about companies here, you're a huge company. The little guy is not really going to take that much away from you that you need to be worried about.
Yeah, seriously,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, how much is that? Is from them doing what they're doing? Is it really affecting their bottom line?
Yeah.
It's very minute at the end of the day because here's even why they get their own exclusives.
Yeah.
So the only way to get their exclusives is to go through them. You can't get them through anyone else.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, again, listen. At the end of the day, there's enough for everybody to go around. At this point, by doing what you're doing, you're just being greedy, flat out. So
some of the things that I'm wondering about with this is that they're going to bring their site back up in 3 to 5 business days, right? The site's already been taken down once. So what is it that they got to change on their website so that they can comply and not be hit with this copyright? Because what exactly was the actual copyright?
That's it, and that's an interesting thing. Like me and you were talking about this morning. Was it images that were that were given from Hot Toys Direct? I mean, listen. I mean, there are other third-party companies out there like Toys, or there are other secondary companies out there like Toys Wonderland that don't use the official licensed product. They use different pictures. They use different pictures. Now, it would be kind of weird if it was taken down just based upon the pictures. I think that. Yeah,
it could be that they're the biggest one. It's because, you have Justin Collectibles, who promotes Toys Wonderland heavily. Yeah. He's got a big following, so I gotta imagine that they probably are the biggest of the Hong Kong resellers.
Or international sellers.
International sellers, maybe
because they carry more than just Hot Toys. They've got statues. They've got prop replicas. They've got a bunch of stuff, man.
So it's possible that they're the big dogs. So
yeah.
They're coming after them now. It's because they realize that these guys are making enough money. I had to go through a lot of research this morning about the whole what the difference between distribution rights and this first sale, rights, I guess that you have, first sale doctrine, right? And I guess so I looked up some stuff, and there was a kid in a few years back. I don't know if you knew about this one, but in college, right? So his name was Kurt Singh, is what hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So this was in 2008, man. So check this out. This guy comes to the United States from Thailand to take and go to school abroad. His family sends him 600 English language textbooks that on the book said they were only supposed to be distributed throughout Asia and Europe. All right, and it's made by a company called Wiley and Sons. So Wiley and Sons, because this kid ends up making a good amount of money. 1.2 million is what they said they had in sales of those 600 books that he sold over here. They came after him, stating that he's selling stuff over here and it's a copyright infringement because he's selling stuff over here. So this went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled where they lifted. Backtrack a little bit. Initially, the first court ruled in the favor of Wiley and Sons, and they awarded them $600,000 in damages. So that's what the kid had to pay for. So then the kid kept on fighting, took it all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court lifted the geographical regions that this can happen. So effectively, it got ruled back.
It got reversed. They reversed in his favor. Yeah.
So, and that's where things are at the moment. Just because this, you have an item and you bought it in another country doesn't mean you can't resell it over here.
Yeah, and legally. You purchased it.
You purchased it.
You basically purchased it. Whatever their company, the company that you purchased it from, got their cut, and the company that they bought it from got their cut when they purchased the item to distribute. So everybody's getting their fair share. So what's the problem?
Yeah, the problem is that they're making money and they all want a cut of that. Everybody wants more of a cut.
Well, yeah, they want to be. It's just people being greedy. That's what it is. It's basically what it boils down to. So at the end of the day, how much is really enough?
Yeah.
How much is really enough? I mean, because if you think about it, here in the United States, I know we have laws about having monopolies.
Right.
So who's to say they can't go after this company in the U.S. for having a monopoly on the distribution of collectibles? So
it's getting close to it. I mean, they pretty much got everything.
Yeah,
if that's the company they're naming for. So again, I don't know, and I'm not insinuating, and I'm not stating that Sideshow had anything to do with this. I don't know that. So if you're thinking that that's what I'm saying, that's not what I'm saying. All right. It just from this letter, that's what it sounds. That's who it sounds like they're insinuating did this. So. It's hard to look past that.
Well, listen. If it walks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. You know what I mean. So, but
in my opinion, that's how I read it anyway. In my opinion, so.
But again, it's again, the world is a big enough place for everybody to coexist. And it gets frustrating to see that happen because you don't know what these people went through to start this business up. You don't know how much money they invested and the time and how this affects their families. People don't look at that. People always just look at the straight bottom line.
Yeah, because when you see it, you see Toys Wonderland and you see another company. So all you're seeing is the company names.
Yeah.
But you're not seeing how it's affecting the guy individually.
Exactly. You don't know
these
how
smaller
many
stores are owned by individual people, like Collector's Own, Marcos, and you got Josh with
Comic Concepts. Yeah.
I know these guys and they bust their butt trying to keep these stores going.
Yeah. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. And you're at that point, it's not even the principle. I mean, you're just screwing with people's families and lives at this point, which is just wrong on all levels.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with trying to make an honest buck.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, I don't see them doing anything wrong.
They don't. They're not.
If they're paying for the product and they're getting the product, they're within their right to resell or do whatever the hell they want with that product.
Exactly.
End of story.
That's how I see it too. Exactly. Again, I wanted to bring this up is because many of you may have orders with Toys Wonderland, and I don't want you guys to be alarmed if you go back to their website and see that the website's down temporarily. They do state that they will fulfill all the orders that they have currently open. So, there's that. Just in case you guys didn't see the message earlier today. Yeah. So
I like when I went onto their website and it's like, oh, something special is coming soon. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, I hope it's Extreme Toys Wonderland. But yeah, man. It again, dude. It's the same thing. It's the same thing on any platform, really. To be honest with you, whether it's a business, it's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's Instagram. There's enough for everything to go around. There's enough for everybody to coexist.
Right.
And that's the problem. There are people who are just greedy, and they don't care who they've got to step on, who they've got to hurt, or what they got to do along the way to achieve their agenda. And that's what sucks about this, because you want to see the best in people, you want to see the best in these companies, and when you do stuff like that, it kind of drags your name through the mud a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. And again, it depends on who they're like. I don't know anybody else who it could be, but I mean, it depends on who they're really speaking about. Again, I wish they would have just come out and said it. You went that far to go ahead and write a letter about it to everybody. Just
and it's not like
it's
not like they can't do any. It's not like they could do anything more to them that already hasn't been done. They're international. They have no jurisdiction over in Hong Kong. You don't
know that. We don't know what possible.
Well, it's not like there's a world. It's not like there's a world court. Like a world court for businesses where.
Well, my feeling is this, though. My feeling is this: if they're not stating the name of the person, they either don't know who did it exactly. They weren't because there's been plenty of copyright claims that I've had on our YouTube channel that they don't tell you who's putting the claim in. So you have to basically kind of guess at that point. So it's possible that's the situation, or they're just very afraid to say who it was. Which I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I'm more inclined to think that they're guesstimating who it could be.
Well, listen, listen there. It just shows you the type of class that Toys Wonderland has, because they could have easily have come out, put everybody on full blast, and that would have been that, and then take the cat's out of the bag at that point.
They should have, though.
But no, they just no, because you want to be professional.
That, to me, where they're at the moment, is that's what happened to them is not a professional way of doing things.
No, what happened to them is not professional. But you know what? And I know as much as you hate I say this sometimes. Sometimes you just got to take the higher. Sometimes you just got to take the higher road. Yeah. you gotta be the bigger person. You gotta show some some class. And it's funny because out of all people, of all the things that I say and I do, the word showing class coming out of my mouth doesn't always exactly ring a bell with people. But listen, I do have morals. I do have standards. And I do have values. And especially when it comes to the fact that both of us work in a professional corporate environment, that is that there's certain practices that you do. So I mean, I commend them for taking the high road and not fully naming names. And the letter was very professional, professionally done and very well written. But it's frustrating again to just see someone stoop to that level. You know,
I'm all for you hit me, I'll hit you back. I'm all for that. I feel like. You name out who I want them to write another letter and name out who exactly it is that did it if it was said. That way there's no gray area. There's nobody wondering what this possibly could be. It's because it's not right, man. This is stuff that happens in this industry all the time, and everybody whispers behind everybody's back, and this is what really happened, and we're all wondering what really happened. But nobody ever comes out and says, "Yo, this is exactly what went down."
This is exactly what went down. This is exactly why it happened, and this is what was done. Why it was done. But let's take a very, very, very valuable lesson away from this right now. Do not cross paths with the Medina Lorian. He will bounty hunt you down. Just saying, he will find you. I will find you.
Don't
throw stones at a glass house. Yeah.
If I ever get a notification that tells me who writes a copyright claim against me, I'll call you out. I will. So
George is going to go in there, guns a-blazing.
But yeah, that's the news for today. I know you guys were probably expecting to see some more collecting stuff that's coming out. We just did an episode on Monday going over most of Sideshow Con for the first day. Today was mostly DC stuff that came out. We also have
there's NECA. Other figure. Yeah, there's some NECA stuff. There's NECA some other figures. Mattel Creations stuff. So if you guys
we're going to get into that on Friday. We're going to get into that on Friday on the Geek Show. So come back for us on that, for the live show for that, because we'd like to actually do that more on a live form. I really like that, how that's going, and the interaction with the chat and what you guys have been doing. This here, I just wanted to get up because it is important news, I feel, for the collecting community to know about.
It's huge news for the collecting community.
Yeah.
Just to it's putting a spotlight on shady practices and shady companies.
Right. And also, if you to be aware of, if you have orders with Toys Wonderland, what's going down at the moment.
Don't be afraid. They'll make good on their end.
Yes. So
Toys Wonderland, if you're watching, we got your back.
Definitely. Anyway, guys, that's it for the collecting news today. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep it marvelous.
Keep it marvelous.